So the debugger also allows to change values of variables. This can be useful for testing. For example, when we are debugging, if we see some variable that we think that if it has a different value, for example, it's a configuration variable and we can change the configuration to have a different value, and we want to quickly validate if we change the value, if things will work as we expect, then in the debugger we can just do it. We change the value, we continue debugging and see if things work as expected. It's very useful in many situations to do those kinds of validations. So let's see how it works. So we're going to use the same transaction that we have been using to make other examples. Switching to debug, and let's see some variables here that we can change. So here there are already some good examples. So let's click this one first. This one is it's a variable with this case value t, and if we click this pencil here, it allows us to edit the variable. We can see here the technical type C1 means it's a character field with size 1, so we can put just one character there. So if this is T and for true, maybe we could put F for false. We click enter and it changed, so now the program will execute with F. We can change back to T like this. So this is the way to do it for normal variables. We also have structures and tables. So structures are just a collection of elements, and tables is a data structure that has several variables or a list or several structures, so several rows of data. So let's see with an example. So this node tab, we can see it is a table. It also has a header row. So if I click here, I go to the header, and the header is a structure. So this is just a collection of variables, and I can change using the same pencil. I can change the values as before. So this is the way to change values in structures. And this is also a table, and I have here the link for the internal table. If I click here, I can see this table has the same variables as the structure, of course, and in this case it doesn't have any rows. So I can insert rows. For that I have to right click in this field here, and then I have this menu where I can append rows to this table. So I'm going to append a new row, and then if I want, I can change this row by double clicking, and then I can edit the fields like any structure. In this control I can also delete rows. So again, double clicking, I have the option to delete rows. I can also delete the full data in the table, or I can choose the rows to delete. So this is the way to change variables in tables. So most of the times we will be doing that, changing, or when we need to do it, we need to change just a variable or just contents of a table. Also, a quick example, it's also sometimes useful to directly change, or when we are in a loop and want to change many times values in a table, and we can do that. I'm going to show with an example. So here I have this table with this value, and then I can so I can go directly to the value of the variable, and that is possible by this direct access, and this first part is the row of the table, and this is the way to access the variable inside. So then I could change this quickly many times. If I'm stopping many times in the same place, it would be an easier way to do many changes.